California to West Africa, coming home at last. Yeah, home at last.
Look how they moved the whole house. Look, they moved the whole pen. Hey, see?
A herd of dog. We got a herd of dogs here. We got a herd of kids. You come too?
Yeah.
Where's Bella hat? Oh no, she don't need a hat. Okay. No, she's okay. Okay. Oh, okay. You want Rex? Okay. Here. Sorry. Yeah, that's your job. I forgot. You can come or go. It's up to you. We gotta get these dogs out of the house. They're getting rambunctious. Anyway, Rex is doing fine. He's part of the family now. Wait, Bella, you left Rex. Oh no. Mia has the puppy, and Bella has, well, she had Rex, and Tivo has the other Rex. We have big Rex, medium Rex, and small Rex. You got it. I'm here. Me and Mom here to supervise. Oh no! Oh no! Oh. What happened? Bonjour YouTube, welcome back to California, West Africa. Hey, so this is one of those videos where hopefully it'll be a short one. One of the things that expats have to deal with when they're moving overseas is everything. Things that all the unexpected things that pop up. So it's not easy. Recently, as if you watch my channel, you know that I'm a disabled veteran. And one of the things was, and a prior video I did where I was trying to get Bella her CRBA, her Counselor Report of Birth, and her citizenship, which we're still working on. So here's what I've dealt with in the last few days, the last week or so. So being a veteran, you're supposed to add or subtract dependents that you have on your, and then they give you an increase in your compensation. So here's the thing about being an expat. You got to just expect everything's going to be difficult. Now, one of the things I did instinctively was kept a U.S. address, and because of medical reasons and other reasons, family, you know, I'm an expat, but I still maintain a residence back home. Something just told me to keep that. And every year that I've been an expat, I travel back to the U.S. for several months at a time. So I still technically live in the United States. And here's a problem with Southeast Asia and Africa and a lot of these places that are popular for expats to move to. You don't have a physical address. Yet we have a physical address, but there's no mail carrier. There's no U.S. post office. They have mail centers. You know, if you want to order things online, you can get it. But you're not going to get anything from outside the U.S. here without heavy-duty import fees. That's number one. Now, what's going on with me recently is that I'm trying to add Bella as a dependent on my VA veterans dependents list. So here's the problem I had. So I went online. Now, Bella was born abroad. She's Ivorian and she's American. So I got on the VA website, and they have the, you know, always the government, you know, no matter what you see on, you know, va.gov or any kind of government, they always seem to be behind in technology, electronic correspondence. So when I tried to add her social security number, she doesn't have one. They said it won't let me continue the application online. So that was the first year I tried. So I essentially gave up. It wasn't that much of a difference in my pay. And at the time I was like, man, you know what, fuck it. I don't need it. But then I started thinking about it. Now inflation's hitting, even over here. Every little bit helps. So what I did was I just stopped the application process, and then someone said, "Oh, well, you can upload electronically." Okay, so I put all her documents, CRBA, the application, in a PDF file, went to the portal on the va.gov website, and lo and behold, you cannot upload or even log in to the VA website on like my Wi-Fi here, because it's showing outside the US. And so they're really strict on it. You know, they have this firewall set up so where you just can't go and log in. So I had someone else try to log in for me in the US. Well, again, I have two-step authentication on my devices, because that's what they tell you to do. You know, you got to protect your identity, you got to protect your sensitive information. So nobody could log in for me in the United States, so I couldn't bypass that. So then I called the VA on the help number. They sent me a fax number and a physical address for the VA. Well, it's not a physical address, it's a PO box. So I said, okay, fax. I'll fax it. Well, you know, I'm 56 years old. Been faxing things my whole life. I'm a fax expert. Hey, Michelle, we gotta fax something. Yeah, so let's go find a fax machine in Africa. No fax machines. I didn't believe it. Like Michelle said, Bruno, this is not America. Hey, I don't care. Well, fax machines are universal. So we call around all these businesses. DHL, FedEx. I don't think there's UPS here, maybe. I'm not sure. I've never seen one. Okay, so we go to these mail center. Yeah, you can electronically send stuff. You can make copies. You can, but I can't. No, so we went. Now on top of that, Michelle and I had a miscommunication. The whole time for days and days on end, I kept saying fax. What did you think I said? You thought I said fast. She thought I said fast. You want fast delivery? Oh yeah. So we go to DHL yesterday. I fill out the fax information, the number. I sit for 20 minutes filling out this paper so they can have all the information, and I'm gonna fax my paperwork to the VA. And then I stepped up there and they're like, fax? No. They wanted $120 for a fax, I thought, because they didn't know what I was saying. They were just a mail center. They can only send out mail. So when you live overseas, now I don't know how it is for Southeast Asia. I know they probably have a better system with mail. $120 to send a letter. I'm not joking. What I missed there is that you cannot send a fax, because now there's people here that have, I will say that I do have a friend of mine who does have a fax machine that hooks to his router. But whenever you're faxing to the US government, it has to be analog. It's got to be an actual landline copper wiring that sustains a solid connection at all times, and then otherwise if you don't do that, anyway, they won't accept it. So you can, so here's what I want to say. You cannot fax from a internet type source from overseas. You cannot, it has to be analogs, and like I said, I couldn't find any DHL or FedEx or any reputable places that have fax machines. Anytime you mail something, important documents that you need a receipt for overseas from another continent, you're going to be paying hundreds of dollars or more than $100, depending on the weight of it. Just for a regular letter will cost you $120 minimum, and they don't deliver to PO boxes. So if you've got a mail, because I'm assuming that people aren't just writing letters to stay in contact with their loved ones in America. You know, we all have social media now, emails. Now it's funny because I have the email for the U.S. government, and they gave me an automated response. Oh, we've received your paperwork. Of course, my paperwork was incomplete because the paperwork that I filled out for Bella, I left the pages out that weren't pertaining to her being added as a dependent. All the pages that pertain to reporting of a death or college age student, all those, there's like 3 or 4 pages. So I just left them out. And then they said that after I went all through this, finding the right application to send to my friend so he could take the documents, take it to like a Staples or something like that in America, and then they print it out from there, and then they fax it over. So also be aware that the U.S. government has international fax lines, local fax lines, but everything is geared for you living in America. So anyway, here's the rest of the video. If you want, you know, receipt service and know that it got there and secured, you know, because here the only time I send out mail is if something, or when I was going to send out mail, it's something super important, like a VA document with all my sensitive information. I don't want to just send it out there in the universe and just hope it gets there. So then I was like, oh, well, okay, I was going to bite the bullet. Okay, I'll go ahead and send these documents to the VA in this envelope. I'll just bite it and pay the $120. I mean, that's probably the whole month's salary for the increase in the raise of adding to Bella's dependent. Okay. Then they said, no, I give them the P.O. box. Oh, they don't deliver the P.O. boxes. Oh, okay, well, I'll go to FedEx. Go to FedEx. Well, they don't deliver the P.O. boxes either. They don't deliver, so I can't send any. So I am completely. Now, leave a comment in the comment sections if you have a workaround for this, because I know that you can get electronic addresses and things like that. I don't exactly know how those work, but I would probably, it's like VPNs. They say, oh yeah, if you were out someplace and you want to see your American stuff on Netflix when you're living abroad, you just get a VPN. I don't believe nothing I see online anymore. So I just deal with the things that come along with living abroad. Now, also, recently I got trying to redo my finances. You know, I got a consolidation loan, takes down some debt, because, you know, I've incurred some debt while traveling. So I got a consolidation loan. One of the things they asked me from my bank is, because I have an American bank, I have an American address, I'm several months, if 4 or 5 months out of the year, I've been going to America. So I can say without telling a lie that I live and have a physical address that I reside in America. I am an American. Everything I have is tied to America. So you better think hard when you move abroad and completely cutting off your life. You better have friends or family that you can trust to have mail going to a house, and keep your physical address. Keep your American banks. Keep all of that. Even if now I do have to deal with ATM fees, international fees. There's fees out the ass for everything. I'm not, I suppose I could transfer my VA to a bank here. I'm not doing all that. And because I just know that life is so volatile, anything could happen. Well, if I got sick, or Michelle got sick, or something happened, political unrest, things that go on in different countries, and you got to hightail it out of there. So I'm trying to keep a loose exit plan while still maintaining a permanent. No, nothing's permanent. Nothing is permanent. So you better think. I get online and I see all these people talking about, America's so bad, America this or that, and I want to leave. Well, go out and see how. Go ahead and cut your life off from America. See how that works. Now, fortunately, I have in my life good friends that I can trust. And because now, so my workaround now to get this VA paperwork in, since I've exhausted everything I could here. Yesterday was a 12-hour search for a fax machine. So now I'm going to have a friend of mine who's a VA representative as well as another veteran, and I've known him for quite a while now. I'm going to scan. Oh, here's another problem.
Stop.
I scanned my stuff through Google Drive, sent him the PDF files, sent it to him, and when you try to open it in his browser, just like any normal person with a computer would do, open it, the translation from one app to another browser to this or that doesn't work. It cut off parts of the. Now I'm not computer savvy enough to maybe figure out how to change the, fit to page and all that stuff. I don't even have a computer. As I've stated in other videos, I don't own a computer. Everything I own, including my PlayStation, my clothes, documents, anything personal I have, all fits in two suitcases. Sure, I'm not a true minimalist. You know, I have couches and TVs and furniture and beds and things. But I just know that if something were to happen, all that stuff's going to get left behind. So when you live abroad, you're not living, you're living in a 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Maybe that's what I'll call the video, 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Anyway, so I know this is the thing about me making content is I don't have a typical situation. So a lot of people aren't going to relate to this. Most people probably are not veterans. They don't have to deal with the VA. But it's just funny that when you move abroad, even when you live in like I chose to live in Abidjan, which is, baby, how many people live in Abidjan? Millions. I mean, a huge city in West Africa, one of the biggest, best, economically viable, modern cities. Modern. I say modern, everything's made out of mud and brick. But anyway, so yeah, that's what we're dealing with right now. And also, like recently we've had the rainy season is just gonna end here this month. But the rainy season brings floods like anywhere, but here it's especially devastating. And we haven't been able to walk. This is the first day we've been able to walk the dogs and kids, getting a little break from the rain. My friend Pastor Kevin, who's a missionary here, had his entire compound flooded. And no matter how much you prepare, I mean, this Pastor Kevin has a compound with these huge stone walls. He has generator backup. He has animals where they can get fresh eggs, and they're very self-sufficient. They live, in a place that has spotty power, but they have this huge generator backup. And the rain came, and his whole wall fell down, and his house got flooded with like 4 feet of water. All his furniture, all his appliances, his business, his compound, everything devastated. That's why we're watching his dog. We got an extra dog right now. I try to help out as much as I can, but he's dealing with it a lot. So I'm going to try to leave a link to his organization if anyone wants to donate. What's going on? So anyway, that's the video. See you on the next one. Au revoir.
Hey, update everybody. About 2 o'clock this morning, I heard a loud bang and the exterior wall to our property collapsed. The wall that's back there behind all that. I went outside and I saw some of like our patio furniture floating in the yard. And the water just kept going up and up and up. And in 2024, we had a flood that the water got just to the front door and didn't go inside. This time it went inside. Water got in the property. We started evacuating everything, got all our belongings out, did the best we could to get everything out. We saved our dogs. We weren't able to save all of our farm animals, but we got the dogs out and some of our personal belongings, our important stuff, our documents, our passports, that kind of stuff. We really only got one change of clothes that's there. The property is flooded. There's water up to your knees in the house. We've evacuated the property. Be praying for us. Thanks. Okay, video update. Our property is flooded. You guys have been aware of the flooding, but this is way worse than the flood we had in 2024. In 2024, we had a flood that got to the threshold of the house, like to the front door, but didn't go inside. Today, we had water up to your knees inside of the house. The couches are floating. The washer, dryer, and the refrigerators and freezers are all flipped over, and there's like a current of water going into the house and into the property. I don't know if you can see here. We even had the fire department come. Here. That's that red truck you see there. And there's a current coming down the hill here, and it flows into the property. And then it goes out the back of the property. And so there's a current of water going through, like literally a current of water. Every building is flooded. The house is, like I said, up to your knees. At one point, it was only up to your ankles or whatever. And then it went down like maybe an inch or two. And then it came back. And it came back really hard. And it has been raining for well over 12 hours. And every time it feels like the rain is going to stop, it picks up harder and faster. Right now it's just sprinkling, but man, there's so much water right there. So this road that I'm sitting on is about 6 feet higher than the entrance to our property. So I don't know if you can see, like there's the old sign for the Assemblies of God Mission, but even where you see it says Interdita Stacioné, that means don't park. Like that little car symbol right there is at least 4 foot off the ground, and it's already on that. So it's bad. We have completely evacuated the house. A lot of our farm animals, I don't know if most, but a lot of our farm animals died in the flood. We tried to save as many as we could. We have officially evacuated the property. We got all of our important belongings, our passports, our documents, at least 1 or 2 changes of clothes. I only have 1 pair of shoes. I don't even have another pair of shoes with me. Yeah, everything is gone. Literally, this is all we have with us. That's it. Those 3 book bags. There's another bag back here. That's it. We left everything else in the house because we had to evacuate so fast. We got the cars out before the water got over the car tires, so we were able to drive them out. Even when I was taking my car out, the water started to pick it up. And so we got out the cars just in time. We carried our stuff to the car. We got our dogs out. Our dogs are safe, praise God. But we did everything we could. And all our neighbors, their houses are flooded too. Everybody's underwater right here. This whole gully right here is underwater. I don't know. Behind this, I'm going to post some more pictures of stuff, but I didn't have time to take very many pictures because we were in panic mode trying to get everything out and stuff. Definitely never expected this. So we just ask you to be in prayer for us. Definitely need the prayer, please. Now you can't even get in any of the doors. The cars can't get in. The water, for both entrances, the water is well over the hood. So we can't get in the property at all with the vehicles. So we're going to wait until the rain comes down a lot, and we'll go inside. We'll see what we can save, if we can get at least some more of our clothes out, some of our shoes or something like that. I only have 1 pair of shoes. So if we can get some more of our stuff out, that would be great. But we're going to go back later in the day, and I will update you on that. Thanks.